welcome to We're Having Fun. I am Mark. Hi.
Hi, I'm Krista.
Hi, Krista. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I haven't seen you in so long, like always. Anything interesting going on with you? No? Let's talk about this movie.
I honestly can't really think of anything. Wilson is here with us this week.
Yes, Wilson is here. So we'll see what interesting things he throws into the mix. Or maybe he'll just sleep the whole time.
Maybe. If you hear snoring, that's most likely him, but I don't know. Cause
it might be Krista falling asleep to me explaining Eternal stuff, but, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, all right. But today we are talking about Eternals.
We are. It's the new Marvel movie at this time. If you listen in the future, you're like, that was a long time ago. But now it's new.
It is very new. It came out like a couple of days ago. We went to see it yesterday in theaters.
Fought the crowds.
Yeah.
There wasn't a big crowd.
No. There were more people at this one, I feel like, than the past few that we've gone to. I think people are finally starting to feel a little more comfortable, maybe.
Yeah.
But it also could be that we saw this the weekend it came out.
We did.
And the other ones, like when we saw Black Widow, it had been out for almost a month, I think.
And Shang-Chi had been out a week.
Yeah, it had been out a week or two
by
the time we got around to it. So, yeah, a few more than we usually see, but...
Yep.
Yeah.
we had to go see it then. I say I'm a big fan of the Eternals. I'm more a fan of Celestials, and then I just have to read Eternals. But I've read a lot of Eternals, so I was interested to see what they do with them, because I was like, really? Y'all are going to make an Eternals movie? Okay, well, let's do this then, I guess. Eternals are weird.
And there are so many. It's okay, we did Black Widow. We've only done 3. This is only our 3rd Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But we've also done, like, Loki, and What If. But this one, like, Shang-Chi, it has, like, a few new characters. And then, you have Black Widow that introduced, like, 3 or 4 new characters. That wasn't a lot.
Such.
Exactly. But the Eternals, there are 10 of them.
There's a lot.
There's a lot to keep track of.
Yep.
And some of them, I feel like some of them just kind of like got pushed aside.
A little bit.
But, oh well.
That happens in the Eternals.
Exactly.
They usually focus on just a few at a time.
Yes.
Because, it's a lot. And there's a lot... Like, there's supposed to be a ton of Eternals, and I don't know all their names. It's ridiculous.
And the one that it focused on was not who I expected.
Yeah?
Because let's just say right out of the gate, we're spoiling this crazy. So
if you don't want spoilers.
If you have not seen the movie and you want to see the movie and not be spoiled, do not listen to this. Yeah. Because we're just going to tell you every single thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
this could be another 2-hour podcast. Hopefully not.
We're going to try not to. I got real crazy with Harry Potter last week, and I apologize about that.
We liked it.
But
it's very informative.
I think when we do Chamber of Secrets, it shouldn't be I won't get as in depth.
Yeah, and we don't have to explain as much stuff.
Exactly. So there we go. But I kind of wasn't expecting Cersei to be the main character.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I've never seen that actress.
Yeah.
In anything.
I don't know who she is.
I think she's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, I get to look at her face the whole time? Yes, please. I am okay with this.
I thought for sure it was going to be Icarus.
I did too.
It's Robb Stark.
Exactly.
Why would you? But yeah, there's a lot of... I was surprised by a lot of stuff they did. Like,
yes.
Character-wise.
Yes, I was too.
So I guess, let's just get into it, I guess.
Okay.
And first, right off the bat, we get text telling us the backstory of Eternals.
Yes, and it starts off as like in the beginning. It's like, are we right? Are we reading the Bible? Because that's okay.
Yeah. And the history they give is that the Deviants were an alien race that landed on Earth and started just wrecking shop.
Yeah.
And then the Eternals were another alien race that came from Olympia.
Yes.
And the planet Olympia and came to fight the Eternals. Deviants, sorry.
Yes.
That's very different from the comic, like the original. Because the Eternals come from the Celestials came to Earth and experimented on humans, proto-humans.
Oh, okay.
And they made the Deviants, and then they made the Eternals, and then they made just man.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, all right, let's see how this does. We'll be back in like a million years, see how the Earth's doing, and then, we'll destroy it if it sucks.
Oh my gosh.
If not, we'll let it go, whatever. But they just keep coming back and judging the world. So, yeah, the Eternals are supposed to protect man, and the Deviants are, just bad guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which, I mean, the Deviants being bad guys and the Eternals protecting man did, carry over into the movie. Yeah.
And in the movie, they're working for Arishem, basically, the Celestial, who looks different than the comics. A problem I had in this movie with the Celestials that they showed, mainly, there were a couple that looked different, but a lot of them just look like Isan with the 3 eyes on each side.
I don't know who you're talking about.
It doesn't matter. But there were like 3 of them that have just like 3 circles.
They have 6
on
eyes,
their
basically.
face. Yeah. Okay. All lined up. Yes. And like that's only how like one of them looks.
Okay.
That's Isan.
Yeah, and they did make all of them because it showed several.
Yeah.
And they all looked the same.
Yeah, they did. That bugged me. I was like, they're all different and weird. But now they all look the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I mean, how many are they actually going to show? Probably not many. So it doesn't really matter. But, so that's where we're at. And the Deviants in the comics are more like lizard people who live underground. And they just are ugly and all this stuff usually.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're weird. But in here, they're just like CGI animals.
Yeah.
I
mean, they're like dark versions of animals, I guess. Because at one point they showed a bunch of them. They looked like dark wolves.
Yeah.
But there's something that looks kind of mechanical about them to me.
Yeah.
So
they look like the animals in what's the game?
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yes, Horizon Zero Dawn. Yes.
I haven't played it, but I have seen stuff from it. So even though I have the game and got it for free when I got my PlayStation, I still haven't played it. I'm real bad about having games and just not playing them.
But yeah, in that game, they are like machines built to look like animals, and that is what they look like.
Yeah.
It's true. They made a lot of choices with this. I was surprised they changed it up. I don't know why they changed that up, really. I don't think it was necessary, but they did it. It's fine.
So, you said they look like lizards.
Yeah.
Not lizard people?
Lizard people.
Maybe they were afraid it would look too much like Skrulls.
Yeah, that could be.
Because, the Skrulls are green and they look kind of lizardish.
Yeah, I mean, the Deviants aren't always green. There are a lot of different colors. And they're just, like, deformed more than anything. They kind of look like Thanos. Because Thanos is he's an Eternal, but he has a disease that makes him look like a Deviant, which is why he was cast out. Because his mom was like, oh, he's ugly, get him out of here.
I didn't know that he was an Eternal. So.
He is, yes. And we'll get to more of that later.
Because we always just say he's like the Titan.
Yeah.
And that's all we hear.
We'll get to the Titans later.
Okay.
So, I got a lot to cover here.
We do. Okay, we should probably stop talking about the comic books and get into the movie.
So, yeah, it pretty much just starts out with the Deviants attacking old humans.
Yeah, so they show up. It's at 5,000 BC is when it starts. That's when the Deviants start attacking humans, and it's somewhere in like Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
And the Eternals show up in their big ship, which was called the Domo.
I guess. I don't know.
I did not write any notes, so I don't know.
Me neither. We're winging it.
Yeah. I think it was called the Domo.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember any like ships from the comics really.
Yeah. So they show up and they start attacking the Deviants who are it is Spaceship Domo. Yeah. They're attacking the Deviants who are attacking humans.
Yep.
And the humans are kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And they're just like, nice little fight scene. Mm-hmm. And only 5 of them show up to fight. And then once the fight's over, the other 5 show up.
Yeah.
They come down off of Domo. I guess they're not as big into fighting as the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the ones that come down are more like
the fighters.
Yeah, the first ones that come are the fighters, and the others are more the, I don't know what you would call them.
They're they're the archers. Yeah, they're the long range people.
I guess so. I don't know.
And another thing they did for this movie is they pretty much gave each of them like their own separate power.
Yes.
Whereas in the comics, they all have all the powers. They just kind of specialize in certain stuff. Okay. Some of them are better at some things than others. So I kind of like that they did it like this because it helps us differentiate between them. Because it would have been hard if they're all just like flying around shooting lasers. Yeah.
So what you're saying is in the comics, they kind of have a, what would you call it? A unimind?
Yes. Oh my God. We'll get to that. Yeah.
So do we want to go over all of them and tell what their powers seem to be?
Sure.
Okay. So you got Ajax. She's kind of the leader. Yes. She has healing powers.
Yes. Yeah. And in the comics, Ajax is a guy. Okay. And he wasn't the Prime Eternal. The Prime Eternal is
Prime Eternal.
Usually Zurus is his name, but there's no Zurus in this one. Okay. So it's Ajax.
Ajax is the Prime Eternal, played by Salma Hayek.
Yes.
Severely underused.
Yeah, surprisingly. I
was like, yes, we're getting a movie with Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay.
No, well, maybe not.
I mean, she showed up a few times.
She was in it quite a bit, just not in the same capacity as I thought she would be.
Yeah, exactly. I thought she'd have more of a role, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It was nice to see her.
Yep.
Then we have, I guess we go with Icarus next. Yeah. He's kind of the Superman of the group.
He is. Flies, shoots laser beams out of his eyes. Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
He's always, in the comics, like the main character, usually him or Athena.
Yeah. So next up we'll go with Athena then. Yeah. So
Athena, I guess, creates weapons and she can fight really well.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I thought of it was in Skyrim. You can make like, what are they called? Like, I think they're called bound weapons. Okay, maybe. So like you can just conjure up a weapon out of nothing and use it for a limited time, and then it goes away. Nice. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. I ever got that. I never used them because I was like, this is too much work. I was just always the one walking around over encumbered the whole time anyway. So, me too, yeah. And sneaking everywhere because I'm like, I gotta get my sneak up to 100 so nobody knows I'm here.
Sneaking archery. I'm like, all the way up.
I'm just an invisible archer, don't mind me. So yeah, she can conjure up weapons out of nothing, basically. Yep. Weapons, shields, all that stuff. Uh-huh. So she's like the weapons expert.
Guess so, yeah.
Then we have, I guess we'll go with the 5 fighting ones first. So then we have Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, also known as the Forgotten One in the comics.
Okay.
He's rough and tumble. He can punch people real hard.
Yeah, he kind of, it made me think of when in Shang-Chi with the 10 rings. Yeah, yeah. Reminded me a lot of that where he can, just does this. It's kind of another...
It's like a little power-up.
Power-up kind of thing and punches people out. Maybe there were 6 of them that came down first.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, wait. Ajax didn't come down till later. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. Gilgamesh. So, he's another fighter. Mm-hmm. You've got Kingo.
I
love Kingo.
Kingo's great. Played by Kumail Nanjiani.
I loved him.
He can do energy guns.
I was like, energy finger guns.
Yeah, finger guns, which is such a silly thing. And he can kind of do like Kamehameha blasts.
Yeah.
He builds up some energy.
Build it up and throw it out, yeah. So, yeah, his little finger guns. Loved it. And then you have Makari, who is like super speed kind of person. So she can speed around, kick people, and they don't know where it's coming from and everything.
And played by a deaf actress. Yes. So that was cool.
That was very cool.
A lot of sign language. I like to see that representation.
Me too. That was so cool. I was not expecting it because I didn't really read anything going into this. Yeah. So there were a lot of things that I did not expect. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, we're like actually using sign language in this movie. Yeah. This is awesome.
A very, very diverse cast in this, which was good.
I loved it.
And this is another gender change from the comics. It's a guy in the comics. So and female in here. So I think it was good.
Okay. So those are the fighters. Okay. Then we have the others. Yeah. I don't know how to say it. We have Cersei.
Yeah.
I don't really know her powers.
Cersei
she can turn things.
Yeah, matter manipulation.
Yeah. So she's like, at one point she's talking about her powers and she's like, one time I turned a rock into stone, not into stone, a wood into stone, and I turned...
It was a rock into water.
A rock into water,
a rock into wood or something.
All this stuff is like...
And a rock into air. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she can change stuff into other things.
Yes.
And, like, she can disguise people. You know, a lot of different things. And she in the comics, she's... one thing I was kind of disappointed in, she's more of, like, real fun, like, party girl who likes to just have parties all the time and be around the humans and just kind of enjoys life. And this one, she's a lot more serious.
Yeah, I was going to say, she liked being around humans, but she was not a party girl.
No.
She was very serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have Sprite.
Yeah, the little trickster. Mm-hmm. She creates little illusions.
Yes, she creates illusions. She can... She has firework fingers.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
Hers, it looks so weird when she does hers because it's got like little discs on the ends of each of her fingers. So it makes me think of like a tree frog.
Oh, yeah.
How tree frogs look with their little fingers with the little flat
little tree
bits.
frog.
So yeah, I don't know why. She made me think of a tree frog, but there you go. So yeah, she can create things. So she can create like duplicates of stuff and
people
whatever. And things and everything.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. We have Fastos, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah. I
can't remember if it was Fastos or Fastos. I feel like it was Fastos.
Something like that.
Because it kind of made me think of Hephaestus.
Yeah. I can't even remember because I read it like Fastos, but it might have been Fastos. I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, but he's like their weapons guy.
Yeah, so he's the tech dude.
He's the tech. So, I mean, he doesn't build their weapons, but he kind of like helps humanity build weapons.
Yeah.
And tools, not just weapons, because there are other things like engines and things like that.
Yeah.
And the plow, of course.
Yeah, the plow. I gotta have that plow.
Gotta have that plow.
And that's very faithful to the comics. That's pretty much what he does. That's his specialty.
And then we have, the last one is Druig. And he can kind of manipulate people's minds.
Yeah. And in the comics, he's usually like the guy that betrays them all the time.
I could see
he's very sneaky. Yeah,
that would happen. Yeah.
So I figured like he's gonna be up to something in this movie.
He's gonna be the bad guy.
He's gonna do something.
No, I mean he does have moments where you're like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. That was not a good idea.
Yeah.
But I mean he comes through in the end. So
Yeah. I like that they let everybody keep their accents in this, too. They weren't like, you need to be American for this.
Exactly. So it's like if they're British, they have a British accent.
Or Scottish.
Like, you got a Scottish, you've got Irish, I think is
was Irish what Druig was?
I think so, because I think he's an
interesting accent.
I think he's an Irish actor.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in much stuff, but he has a very Irish sounding, or an Irish name.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Johnny old Mallory.
No, it's like, his name is Barry, but it's like, I don't know how to pronounce it because it's Keoghan. And that seems like a very Irish name to me. Because it makes me think of those potato chips that I got that time, those Irish potato chips. So I was like, I don't know how to pronounce these, but I like them. I did look it up, but I can't remember what it was.
Can't remember either.
But yeah, that is the 10. Those are the Eternals.
That's the team. Yeah. And they're out to take out all the deviants. And we see them going through time to do so.
Yes.
And at one point, they're even like, we're getting the last of the deviants here. It's almost done, which is surprising.
Yes.
And they're saying there's another team out there, so we know there's other Eternals out there that are taking care of deviants elsewhere.
Yes, on
South
other planets,
America.
I guess.
No, they were on Earth. Yeah,
wait,
they showed a map of like where they were.
But that's where they were.
I don't know.
That's where they were. That's why.
Well, they were working to. They were on Earth. Whatever they were saying, they were on it. They said they're going. Yeah.
I don't know why there would be other Eternals when they were right there.
Well, they split up to go.
Okay, I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Because I mean, they were right there because that was like Mexico City.
Yeah, but I mean,
with like the conquistadors and everything.
Maybe that was them, but I think they were still on Earth, going to kill deviants elsewhere on Earth.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to just go watch it again. Throughout the movie, we get a lot of flashbacks to them in Babylon.
Yes.
And
Mexico City, like
Mexico City, Tenochtitlan? I can never say it right. It's been a long time.
Tenochtitlan is how I always heard it said, but I don't think that's how you're supposed to say it.
Mexico City.
Yes. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And, they're always fighting deviants. But their thing is they can't interfere with human events.
Yes.
Unless a deviant is involved.
Yes, only if deviants are involved. So if there's like a war somewhere between, if there's like World War II, they can't do anything because that's humans against humans. It's not deviants.
Yep.
Just like when they were in Mexico City, the conquistadors, the Spanish had shown up. They were fighting the Mexicans, the Incans. Is it Incans? Aztecs.
Yeah, Aztecs.
I always get them mixed up. The Aztecs. Yeah. They were fighting against each other, and they were like, "We can't do anything."
Yep.
It's not deviants that we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were just kind of...
Gotta watch it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That does have to be rough. And, they touch on that. That's good.
Exactly. And so, that kind of explains why they haven't shown up yet in the MCU. Also.
Yeah. Because they've just been hanging out.
Yep. Pretty much. They're waiting for Arishem to send them back.
Yeah. They're like, we gotta take out all the deviants, then they'll get to move along. Arishem will send us to our next mission.
Or back to Olympia. And when they said that they were from Olympia, I was like, oh, so they're gonna be like the Greek gods or whatever.
Right.
But there are only 10 of them, so.
Yeah. And so...
I know.
So, but
you do find out that there are, like, tales of them throughout history.
Yeah. So, the comics kind of runs into a situation there. Because they have the Eternals, but they also have all the Greek gods as heroes. Like, Hercules is hanging out, Zeus is there, all these people.
Plus you've got, like...
And there's Roman gods, too.
I was going to say, and then you've got, like, Thor gods, and everything, too, the Norse gods.
So, they're like... So, what we did was... Since we were around, and the gods were kind of like tired of doing everything, so we would just fill in for them every once in a while. And the humans would be like, oh, there's Athena. But it was really me, Athena. Yeah. I was the one doing it. And then Icarus was actually, his son was Icarus. And he wanted to fly like his dad. So he built him some wings. But then he died trying to use them. So he took on his dead son's name, Icarus.
So
they've done a lot of weird stuff in there.
So is Icarus actually Daedalus? Because that's who it is.
I mean, yeah, he might be.
Okay.
Yeah. In this, they're just like, yeah, that's just a story we made up.
Yeah, they made up like what is it? It's like Gilgamesh. I forget what it's called. It's not the Tale of Gilgamesh. I just thought of it, and then we started saying other stuff, and it went out of my head. The Epic of Gilgamesh. That's it. So I'm guessing that was about Gilgamesh.
Yeah, guess so.
So where he gets to be the hero.
Yeah.
Of course, then Icarus. Someone makes up a story about Icarus because he flies, and so they're like, he flew too close to the sun and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, of course, Athena was, because they say, she's the patron goddess of Athens or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and later somebody says Athena, and she's like, no, drop the A, just Athena.
Yeah.
So she's basically Athena. There are probably other ones that I can't think of. Right. Maybe Ajax was Ajax.
Ajax, yeah. Ajax. Yeah,
who knows?
That is what's generally thought. So, I don't know who Makari would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Hermes.
Maybe. The messenger of the gods. Who knows? So, yeah.
So, we talked about the Mexico thing. That was at a point where they kind of all decided to go their separate ways because Athena was kind of losing it. She got what's called mad Verse or something.
Gosh, is it written down? Please let it be written down somewhere in here.
I mean, even though written down is hard to pronounce. It's like VH apostrophe RRYS or something.
Oh, of course they don't write it down. Well,
it's basically just like she goes kind of crazy. She gets kind of overtaken by something, and
it's kind of like she still has. Okay, after every mission of theirs, they get their memories wiped. We find out,
yeah,
and they kind of knew that they would have they have like the power to wipe their memories too.
Right.
Because they ask her if she wants to have her memories wiped, and she's like, no, I want to remember who I am.
Yeah.
But they think that some of her memories have stayed behind. They didn't get fully wiped. And so because when they're talking later to her, she talks about some other planet that they've been to.
Yeah.
And so one of their previous missions. So they didn't do a very good job wiping her memory.
Right.
And so they think that's what's causing it.
Yeah. So she kind of goes crazy, starts attacking the other Eternals.
Yeah,
and
she just goes mad. It's like, okay.
They got to subdue her.
And so the only one who seems to be able to subdue her is Gilgamesh.
Right, by just punching her in the face.
Yes. Well, I think it's more like less in the face and more like in the chest.
Yeah.
Because he just like slams her down, basically, with his fist.
Slams her down hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so she's going kind of crazy, and Druig's like, this is crazy. We should be helping people. Watch me as I mind control all of Cortez's soldiers, basically.
And all of the Aztecs.
And all the Aztecs.
Like,
and just kind of take them away.
We're going to have a peaceful society right here. It's like, okay. I don't remember that happening in the history books, but sure.
Yeah, that was, didn't get written about much. So, yeah. And so Ajax just like, you know what, guys? Y'all go your separate ways.
Yeah.
We killed the deviants because apparently that was the last, like, deviants they killed. So, y'all go have a nice day. Enjoy your lives until we get called back.
Yeah.
So everybody goes their own way.
Yep. So.
And that's kind of where the movie starts.
Yes, it's in the present day. I always want to keep calling it the snap, but they call it the blip. And
oh, really?
in the movies, they're like the blip. I'm like, okay,
it's the snap.
It's the snap. We all know it's the snap. So it's like after everybody has come back from the blip.
Yeah.
And I just said she, even though I haven't even said who it is. Cersei is in London, and she sees, like, she's looking up at, like a sign for the British Museum or whatever, and it has a weapon that she actually gave to the first humans that they met.
Right.
And so she makes her way to the museum where she works. She teaches a class there. And
school/museum, I guess.
I guess so. And she's a little bit late getting there. And she walks in. Somebody else is teaching the class.
Yep.
And that is Dane Whitman.
Yeah. Kit Harington.
Yeah.
Another GOT.
Yeah. So we've got two Game of Thrones people in here because we've got Richard Madden, who is playing Icarus, and now we have Kit Harington. So Jon Snow and Robb Stark.
Yep.
Back together again. They kind of have a little flirtation going on, and the kids in the class are like, ooh. But he's like, all right, I'm glad you're here because I don't know how to teach these kids. And so he leaves. Yeah. And she starts talking. She's talking about apex predators and how what distinguishes apex predators from other animals.
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, it's because there's nothing that eats them in the food chain, basically. They're the top of the food chain.
Yep.
And so she's teaching her class, and suddenly an earthquake hits. Big earthquake. It's like, this is London. Why is there an earthquake in London? Is this something that normally happens in London? I don't think so, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, there's a big earthquake. One of the kids is cowering under this large...
Yeah, like against the wall.
Yeah, and there's like this big... It looks like a huge nautilus shell to me.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Kind of like a fossilized nautilus shell or something.
Yeah.
And it's like right above the kid. And it starts falling off the wall. And it's like, why did you get there in the first place? She said get under the tables. But whatever. They're kids.
So she just turns it into dust.
Yes.
So it doesn't kill her.
Yeah, and saves the kid.
I'm surprised everybody didn't start sneezing. Like, I know I would have.
Yeah. But there we go. Everything's fine. And she's like, well, that was weird. But
yeah. Oh, well.
Guess I'm going to go party tonight. She does actually go to a club.
Her and Dane clubbing it up.
Yep. There's another it shows like this other girl flirting with this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who are these people? I don't know who these people are.
I know these people?
Exactly. And then suddenly he tries to put his hand on her hand, and his hand goes through her hand.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is going on with you? And she's like, I gotta go.
You're
she
drunk.
walks away.
Bye.
She walks away. She gets out of the room and she turns into Sprite.
Yeah.
And Sprite is like this little girl.
Yeah. She's like supposed to be an 11-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like her thing she's cursed with. She can never grow up.
Yeah.
Real Peter Pan problem.
Exactly. And they say something about Peter Pan like later in the movie, and I'm like, yeah, she's like Peter Pan, and then like Icarus is Peter Pan. I'm like, what?
Like, I get what you went for there, but this is you missed the other part.
Exactly, but I'm like, excuse me, no, she's Peter Pan. She can't grow up.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
It's fine.
But we'll get to that later, I guess. So yeah, she can't grow up, so she's always stuck as an 11-year-old, which, you know, sucks.
Yeah, that is rough.
And
especially when you're thousands of years old.
Yeah, and it's rough on the others too, because if she is with them, they can't stay in one place for too long because people will start wondering, why isn't this child growing up?
Yeah.
She's not getting any bigger.
Anything.
This is strange.
Yeah.
And so she said they have to like move every like 4 or 5 years if she's with them. So that's kind of a problem.
Yeah. They leave the club.
They've
had enough. And
on the way
into
home,
a deviant.
There's a deviant that comes out of the water. Oh, this was the part where the deviant, like, you can see the deviant, like, under a dock, and there's a dog down there. I was like, if they kill this dog, I am walking out of this theater. I will not stand for this. It's okay, though. It, like, the dog growls at it. It goes back into the water, and I'm like, whew.
Thank goodness. Dog's okay.
I'm like, I really didn't want to have to pay for this movie and then walk out immediately because this is close to the beginning.
Yeah.
I cannot stand for dog death in a movie. Stop it.
It's so unnecessary.
So yeah, the dog's fine.
Yes.
As far as I know, it survives.
If you're worried, don't worry.
It is happily walking on the streets of London still. Yes. It's fine. But yeah, they're attacked by this deviant. And what's funny is Dane kind of knows that there's something weird going on with Cersei, and he's like, you're a wizard, aren't you? You're like Doctor Strange.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And she's like, no.
Yeah.
But
Sprite's like, you gotta tell him.
Exactly. And he knows Sprite.
Yeah.
And she's just walking around saying her name is Sprite.
Yeah. And she's told him everything already, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's funny is every time they were like, Sprite, I was like, I could really go for a Sprite right now.
Yeah, Sprite really should have sponsored this.
I was like, dang it. Maybe we should have had Sprites for our snack today.
We should have. Dang.
Missed opportunity.
Shoot.
I mean, whatever. They are attacked by the deviant. Dane is like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah.
She manipulates the ground and like gets it stuck in it, kind of like quicksand or whatever, but it gets out. Sprite does her, I'm gonna have
illusions.
A bunch of different Sprites and Cersei's walking around to confuse it.
Yeah.
And there's like a car crash and everything. It's
like,
somebody tries to like drive through somebody. Like one of the
like, what are you doing?
Illusions.
I guess they tried to stop, and that's what led to another one rear-ending. Yeah. Don't drive into the mass of people. Maybe.
Yeah. And then there was like a bus that is coming for them, and it gets flipped over. Yeah. Cersei like turns it into rose petals or whatever, and I'm sitting there. We're both like, going, "Where's the bus driver? What about the people on the bus?
If there were people on the bus, we don't see them. We're like, are they all rose petals now? What happened?"
But a guy pops up out of the rose petals.
The
driver's fine.
We're apparently assuming there was nobody in there.
I hope it was an empty bus, because if not, he's the only survivor. And also, how's he going to explain this to the bus company?
Yeah, he just lost a bus.
He's like, well, I hate to tell you guys, but the bus was turned into rose petals.
It's now rose petals. I hope you don't mind.
It's like, apparently in the most recent Marvel movies, they just hate buses, because there was like the whole bus scene in Shang-Chi also.
Public transportation, we are not fans.
We are against this. Oh boy. So they're having trouble with this deviant, and they notice that it is healing itself.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because they've never been able to do that before. It's like, why is this deviant able to heal itself?
Yep.
And then suddenly Icarus shows up
and knocks him into a building. They really don't, they're kind of very Supermanish where they don't really care to like make sure nobody's in these buildings.
Oh, no, they don't
just
care.
Crash through buildings constantly, really tear things. I was like, oof, you guys, I guess y'all been around a while. You're like, I don't need to, greater good.
Yeah, there's a lot of collateral damage going on in these movies. But I mean, that's most superhero movies anyway.
Yeah, I guess. But this was pretty bad.
Exactly. So, I can't remember what they do to it, but it eventually, like, goes away.
He just pretty much I-beams it back into the water. It swims away.
Yeah, I guess so. Because it's like, I can't handle this right now. I'll come back later.
Right. He's like, what up, ladies?
Yeah, exactly. So Dane's like, so you're the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. This is Cersei's ex-boyfriend.
Yes, because Cersei and Icarus were an item for centuries.
They even got married at one point.
Yeah. They broke up like 15, I don't know why I said that, 500 years ago, like in the 1500s, basically. Yeah. So they broke up like 5 centuries ago, I think.
Because Icarus just left. He just pieced out. And she was like, okay.
I guess.
Gone.
I guess I'll just, be by myself from now on, whatever.
Guess that's eternal divorce.
Don't know. So they were an item. They had the first sex scene in a Marvel movie.
First Marvel sex scene.
Which, honestly...
It was pretty tame.
It was very tame, but it was also unnecessary.
It was.
All you had to do was have them saying, hey, I love you, and then get married. You didn't have to have a sex scene.
Yeah. Even like those hard kisses, you knew what was going on.
Exactly. It's like, okay, you just wanted to have Richard Madden with his shirt off. All right, whatever. You could have done that.
We've seen Game of Thrones. We wanted him to get in there. We knew when we signed him up.
I've seen much less. I've seen less tame sex scenes in Game of Thrones with him. You didn't have to do that. It's fine, whatever. But who cares?
New ground from Marvel.
I guess so. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm sure that most people are going to be like, oh my god, they're not family friendly anymore. And I mean, it showed like a naked back and naked upper shoulders.
Yeah,
scandal.
Very scandalous. I mean, you could see all this at the pool, but
exactly.
This is not what I brought my children to see.
Oh boy. Anyway, so they decide that they're gonna go see Ajax because she's the leader and she should know.
So like we gotta get the Eternals back together. So we gotta talk to Ajax first.
Yeah, because she's like I said, she's the prime Eternal, so they have to talk to her first. So they go to South Dakota, and I'm
middle of nowhere.
Exactly, and at that point, I was like expecting her to show up on her horse, like in the trailer, because I was like, "Yes, here we go!"
Her cowboy uniform.
I'm so excited, and she's dead.
Yes, she's been killed by a deviant. Is what it looks like. And I'm like, oh no.
And I was like, are you kidding me? You just killed someone.
I was very surprised.
I was like, she's probably the one that I was looking forward to the most in this movie.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen her in anything in so long.
Yeah, it's true. Man,
although she is going to be in some other movie. Because I think, was it one of the previews that we saw she was in for something?
Oh, yeah.
But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
it's not something I wanted to watch.
It was Gucci.
That was it.
Yeah.
Was it Gucci?
Yeah, because it's like, Academy Award winner, blah, blah, blah. Academy Award winner, Academy Award winner, Academy Award nominee, some hike. Something like that. Or am I wrong?
I don't know. Because now I'm like...
I guess I could be wrong.
Was it that? Because that was like Lady Gaga and Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Gucci.
Okay.
I was just like, but they're supposed to be Italian, but okay. That's what had me confused. Because I was like, but I mean...
Who knows?
Half the people in there are probably not. But yeah, it's got like all kinds of people. It's got like Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Jared Leto as like an old man. And I was like, what is this? But anyway, so she's going to be in that.
Yeah.
But that's not really something
I don't want to see that.
Interested in? Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's dead, and her thing is she has like this little orb in her that would let her talk to Arishem.
Yes.
And get, like, mission updates and what's going on and orders and all that, so...
Yeah, and they expected that when their mission was over, they would hear it through that, basically.
He would tell them.
Yeah. So they go find her dead body, and Cersei is out there crying over her body, basically.
Yeah.
And suddenly that orb comes out of her body and goes into Cersei.
Yep.
And she sees Arishem.
Yep. And she's like, what up, bro?
Yeah. And she doesn't really get to say anything to him.
Yeah. He says,
He's like
it's almost time.
Almost time or whatever. Yeah. And then Sprite is, like, shaking her. And I'm like... Did the shaking her take her out of it? Because it would have been good for her to have gotten some more information.
Got some info.
But whatever. Thanks, Sprite.
Sprite's always messing things
up. Sprite, what are you doing? So yeah, she now has the ability to communicate, but she doesn't know how to, like, get the communication started. Yeah. Then they're like, well, we've got to go find all the others because what if something has happened to them? And it's time. Well, okay, but time for what?
We got to fight this deviant.
I guess we need to be all together in a group again. So they start heading out and looking for the other people. Yeah. So the first one they go to is Kingo, right?
Yeah, Kingo. Okay.
So Kingo is in Mumbai, I think
so,
what it was. And he is a Bollywood
star,
superstar.
Yeah.
He's like the big Bollywood guy, which I loved. I have not made Mark watch a Bollywood movie yet, but I have one on DVD. Maybe one day we will cover that one because it is ridiculous and I love it so much. So,
yeah. And this one wasn't too ridiculous, the one they were making. The premise sounds crazy that he's like Shadow Warrior or something.
Well, no, that's not the one that they were making.
Was it not?
Shadow Warrior was one that he had done before.
Well, I thought he was doing like Shadow Warrior 6 or something like that.
I don't think so.
I thought that's what the poster was.
No, because he was playing Icarus.
Oh, that's right. He was playing Icarus.
Because he was like, I'm you, man. I'm playing you.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's funny.
So it starts off, he's like, there's like a dance scene. They've got like their Bollywood dance scene. And he's just like, I don't know. He's hilarious.
Yeah. He is going face acting.
Oh, it was
all day.
Amazing.
It was good.
Oh man. So yeah, he's in the middle of his production, and after the dancing is done, he yells cut and everything, and he goes over his valet is over there. His valet is named I don't know if it was Karen or Karin. I can't. Karin. Yeah. Because I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
But so we'll say Karin. Yeah. So Karin is there. Loved him.
He was fun.
Absolutely loved him. Yeah. He was the best.
He was
so cute.
Kingo's right-hand man. Filming him,
And he wants to be in all the action, He's like, I gotta film everything because Kingo is like, I'm doing a documentary. Yeah. Basically, I'm gonna turn this into a documentary. Yep. And so Karin is his cameraman and everything. Yeah. And so they tell him that Ajak is dead. Yeah. And he's, pretty sad about that, but then he's like, but I can't just shut down production, Yeah. This is what I do. This is my life now. Yeah. But he does anyway.
I like what he's talking about, all the people counting on him. There's a guy in the CGI suit thing holding up like a head of like a shark or something.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
I don't remember exactly. He was still holding it up, listening like he was the character. Oh, I loved it.
Oh, so good. So he's like, okay, well, let's go find the next people. Yep. And so they take his private plane.
Of course.
He has a private plane, and he's got he's got posters from his older movies, and he's been in Bollywood for decades. Yeah. And from basically the beginning of Bollywood, he was like, this is my time to shine. Yeah. And so he's got his great-great-grandfather, his great-grandfather, his grandfather, his father, and himself. Yeah. And it's all him. Yeah. But he's just pretending that,
I'm the greatest acting dynasty.
Exactly. And they do have, Bollywood does have acting dynasties. Yeah. Because there are the Khans, and there's another one that was really big. I Kapoor, I think, is the other one.
Okay.
Bachan. There are like several different ones that have just generations.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. But I just thought that was hilarious.
That is good.
So they fly to Australia.
Yeah.
Because they're going to find Gilgamesh and Athena.
Right.
Who are still together.
Yep. He's still protecting her.
Yep.
We come upon Gilgamesh, and he's making some food.
He's making food.
Yep.
And because they knock on the door, because he's... Karan is he's filming and everything, and Kingo's like, here's the greatest warrior that has ever lived. Mm-hmm. They open the door, he's wearing an apron. Yeah. It's like, of course he is. He walks out, they've got like this brick oven outside, and he's baking a pie, and he pulls out the pie, and he's holding it, and they say, Ajax is dead, and he just kind of, it falls to his side, and it's still like in the pot, in the pan
for a while,
for a few seconds, and then suddenly it just falls out, and like blueberries or whatever just fall everywhere, and somebody in the theater behind us goes, "No!"
They were so sad that pie got destroyed.
It was just the saddest little no, and I missed the next like 3 minutes of the movie because I was laughing. I was laughing so hard because I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Oh man, that was great. Funny. But they go out. They find Athena. She's like drawing pictures of. It's like pictures of celestials.
Or Shem and stuff.
And she kind of tries to attack and everything, but they stop. Gilgamesh is able to stop her.
She's still mad.
She's still mad. They go inside and start eating dinner. At one point, he says something to... he tells Sprite that he gives him some kind of beer. He gives him
it's
beer
like from the Middle Ages or something.
Or something. I can't remember exactly. But
maybe Genghis Khan. I can't remember.
I can't remember, but he gives him this beer. And they're like, should Athena be drinking? Because she's kind of crazy. She's crazy. You know? And so he's like, it's okay. I gave her the non-alcoholic version. He's like, I gave you the same Sprite. And Sprite's just like, really? I'm thousands of years old, but you're just giving... Okay. Yeah. So she like manipulates his clothes and changes him into like a baby onesie with a bib that says Gilgamesh on it, which I loved.
That is good.
So they're talking and everything. He's like, he sees it and he's like, oh, come on, change my bag. So she changes him back. Yeah. But then he says something about how he made the
Kingo's like,
ale himself. He's like, this is amazing. Like, it's so
thanks,
great.
I made it myself.
Yeah, I made it myself. I grew the corn and I mashed the corn with the individual kernels with my mouth to ferment them and
in my spit.
And they're just like, oh, okay. I don't want to drink any more of this. Yeah. It's like Kingo just like spits it back out. He's like, no. Which I would be upset too, because that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's a gross one.
That's nasty. They tell that Circe has gotten the orb from Ajax. She's the new Prime Eternal, but she says, I don't know how to contact Arishem. I keep forgetting the name. I don't know how to contact Arishem, and he says, well, maybe you just need to
listen,
relax. Yeah. I don't know, basically like meditate or whatever. Yeah. So she goes outside and she's able to contact Arishem.
He pretty much just spills all the beans real fast. He's like no provocation. I guess she is the Prime Eternal now, so
I guess so. He
needs her to know.
Yeah. So he basically tells her everything.
Yeah.
So I guess we should get into that.
Yeah. The Deviants are his first attempt at Eternals, basically.
Yes.
Because he wanted to weed out all the predators so that humans could live.
Yes, and they kind of went rogue, I guess.
Yeah, they became the predators themselves.
Yes.
And so he needed somebody to kill all those, so he made the Eternals.
And the Eternals are not from Olympia.
Right.
They're
just his creations.
Yes, they're basically like android kind of characters.
They're made in this... I can't remember what they called it. The World Machine or something.
Yeah. The World Foundry, I think is what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
But the main point is they want to keep humans alive or whatever main races there and have them thrive and grow because whenever he goes to a new planet, he plants a seed in the planet
Well, I don't know if it was he planted the seed, but like seeds went out to different planets all.
Yeah. Okay.
Around.
Yeah.
And one of them
landed
in Earth.
Yeah.
And it is growing inside of Earth.
Yeah. And then once it feeds off the energy of the...
It feeds off like the... off of intelligent life, basically.
Right. The energy from the intelligent life.
Yeah. So the more intelligent the population becomes, the bigger it grows inside of the planet.
And then... out comes
at some point,
celestial.
At some point, there is a moment where the population is, and the intelligence is so big that it's able to feed enough to emerge.
Yes.
So there's the emergence. Born. The celestial emerges from the Earth or from the planet, and the planet gets destroyed in the process.
Yes.
And there's a new celestial.
But there's a celestial. And it's able to go and create new stars, new planets, all that, new life and all that.
Yes.
So it's like you sacrifice one planet to build a ton of other planets.
Yes.
A lot of billions of new lives and stuff like that.
And then I guess there are more seeds that are planted throughout those planets, certain ones, and the process begins again.
Keeps going and going.
And it's what keeps the universe alive, basically.
Yes.
And the emergence is about to happen on Earth.
Yes. They have a few days.
Because the celestial Tiamat is inside of Earth and is about to come out.
Right.
And that's why there are earthquakes, because that's what happens at the beginning.
Stirring.
Yes.
And I thought, so they take that knowledge and they're like, she's like, oh crap, guys, guess what? This is what we're really here for.
Yes.
Can you believe this? And they're like, wow, that's messed up.
And that's why they wipe their memories.
Yeah.
So that they don't remember that that's what their purpose is.
And they store them all back. I don't know what. They store them to research them and gain knowledge from it.
Yes.
Yeah, about all the races and stuff. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they're like, oh no.
We have to stop the emergence.
We gotta stop this because humans are so cool.
Yeah, because they're like, we've lived among these people for so long and we love these, we love humanity.
Yeah.
And we don't want Earth to be destroyed.
I hear there's this guy named Mark. He's so cool. I have to keep this planet alive.
And Karin is over there and he's like, yeah, it would be cool if he would stop this because I'm a human and I don't want to die.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a little biased.
But my vote is.
Still love him.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, we can go find Druig. Druig can control minds.
Yeah.
So maybe he can control the mind of the celestial Tiamat and put it to sleep.
Yep.
And then that will stop the emergence for a while. And then we can maybe get everybody off the planet somehow.
Yeah.
And they can, find another planet to colonize. And then Earth can be destroyed and Tiamat can come back and everything will be fine.
Everything will be great. And I thought they were going to do a thing like Sleeping Celestial, which is in the comic, which was a celestial that kind of rebelled against the other celestials. So they took kind of his essence and then put him to sleep. And he's like buried under a mountain. Mm-hmm. And people keep trying to get into the mountain to wake him up and stuff. It's like, okay, there's just this huge guy under a mountain that nobody's found yet. But that's fine. But yeah, it's an interesting. He does wake up at some point, and he is going to try to destroy the Earth, but they stop him somehow.
Okay. But that's not what they did in this one.
This is not what they did.
So they go to find Druig. He's in the Amazon with like a group of people.
Yep.
And he's still kind of controlling them, but not quite as often, And it's pretty peaceful little society that they have, even though they do have weapons because they start firing guns later.
Yep, they still got those guns.
They go to find him. They tell him everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, he's not really on board.
And I feel like he probably knows that it's going to be hard for him to do that anyway because it's not like humanity. It's a celestial.
Yeah. But he did say he could control everyone on Earth. So that's, he's pretty powerful.
He is pretty powerful. So while he's thinking it over, they're kind of doing their own thing. They're talking outside. And that's when the Peter Pan analogy shows up. So Kingo is talking to Sprite and he's like, it's like Peter Pan. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's like Peter Pan.
Yes.
Icarus is Peter. And I'm like, wait, what? And Cersei is Wendy. And I'm like, okay. And Sprite, you're Tinkerbell. And I'm like, I guess. I don't.
Because she loves him, but she
they're
can't
like,
be with him.
Yeah, because it's like Tinkerbell secretly is in love with Peter and can't be with him. It's like, but Wendy and Peter don't end up together either.
Yeah.
So, where's this going?
And we're all the Lost Boys, because I can't think of any other people.
Exactly. It's like, well, maybe you're the pirates, or the mermaids, or the Indians. What?
There you go.
So, yeah. So we find out that Sprite is in love with Icarus and can't be with him because she's an 11-year-old.
Yeah, and it would be weird.
She's perpetually 11.
Yes.
So, yeah, real weird. Plus, he's been in love with Cersei basically since the moment that they saw each other as they were headed to Earth.
Yeah.
Kind of doomed there.
And then they get
ambushed. Attacked. There are several deviants that show up.
Yep.
So they're all trying to kill the deviants. They're all fighting against it. Karin is videoing the whole thing, basically.
Yes. They keep breaking his cameras, but he just keeps bringing more out.
At one point, she's like, "How many of those did you bring?" And I also like that Sprite was like, "Put that camera down, young man."
Yeah.
Or youngster or something like that. I forget what it was. It's like, okay, that makes sense. They have a big fight.
Mm-hmm. And some of the deviants can be killed, and they get hurt, but there's still that one.
Basically, the only one that can't be killed
with tentacles that can heal itself.
And the reason it can heal itself is because it took the healing powers from Ajax.
Right.
So it can drain their powers, and that's what killed her.
Right.
Which we find out later. Yes. That's what killed her. It drained her powers, and she was dead.
Yeah.
So it can drain their powers, and when it drains their powers, it evolves. Mm-hmm. And also the other deviants evolve.
Well,
but we see that
he
later.
Has to give it to them.
Yeah, he can evolve
part of the power. Yeah.
They're fighting. Cersei does this weird thing where she turns one of them into a tree or something. It's real strange.
Or a trunk.
But yeah, she does manage to kill that one that way.
Because she's not supposed to affect sentient beings.
Okay.
Which, isn't in her past in the comics. But in this, she can't, turn people into things.
Yeah.
But maybe she can.
Maybe she can, because she does with that.
Maybe the Celestials were like, you can't do that. Don't
try it. And she's like,
please don't touch
me. I tried it.
Whoops.
I did it.
I'm made of a tree.
So yeah, she does that. Kingo does his ball
finger
of
guns.
Energy. He does. Yeah, he's using his finger guns first, and they don't seem to be doing too much. So he does his ball of energy, and he throws it down one of them's throat, and it explodes its head and everything. So, so those are most. I think most of those are killed.
Yeah,
maybe all
Icarus
of them.
Lasers a bunch, rips a bunch of wings off of things, and shoots lasers down their throats and stuff.
Exactly.
He is ruthless against them.
Yeah, so they take care of the ones that they can kill. Yeah. And then, of course, there's that last one, and it is with Thena and Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
And Thena is going mad again, and so Gilgamesh is trying to calm her, but then this thing shows up, and he's trying to fight it. It's just like, this is a bad situation all around.
Gilgamesh is in a bad spot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it gets him.
It get him.
And I was very sad about that, because I was like, I like Gilgamesh.
I liked Gilgamesh too, yeah.
So it takes his powers, and it changes, and it changes to more of a human.
Yeah, he's more humanoid, more of what I would have thought the deviants were going to look like. But,
so still. And he's really tall, and he's still got 4 eyes or whatever.
Yeah,
but he's a little more humanoid,
and they never
talks to them.
Yeah, they never name him in the movie, but you looked it up and said that it was Crow.
His name is Crow,
which is in the comics. Crow the Warlord is he leads the deviants at one point, and he even falls in love with Thena. Him and Thena are an item for a while.
Okay.
And it gets real weird for a bit. So and they didn't even name him in the movie. I was like, really? That was Crow?
If they named him, I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
I only looked it up because I saw that Bill Skarsgård I saw his name in the credits, and I was like, who? Where was he?
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe he was the deviant. He was, and then it said deviant crow, and I was like, okay,
interesting.
Don't know who that is.
I didn't know.
I'm like, don't know who that is, and then I said, yeah, he was deviant crow, and you're like, what? That was a great impersonation of you.
Yeah, it was. I just am flattered every time.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, so
I remember you told me that's deviant crow. I was like.
Don't leave me alone. I'm Cookie Monster.
You weren't eating cookies at the time. You weren't swallowing them. You were just biting them. They're flying everywhere.
They're just like falling. Just cookie crumbs falling everywhere. Oh, boy. Okay. So anyway, so that's Crow.
Yeah.
And he kind of tells him, I forget what he tells him.
I don't know, something about they were similar. That they had been betrayed or something.
Yeah.
That, you know,
I don't know.
That the Celestials weren't on their side or whatever.
Yeah. He just leaves.
Yeah, he's out.
He's just like, deuces, out of here. So he's gone, and Gilgamesh actually dies.
Yeah.
And which is really sad because I'm like, no, but he and Athena are supposed to be together forever. Because I'm like just shipping everybody with everybody because that's how I do. Yeah. But I mean, there are some couples in there, you know?
There are. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, well, that stinks.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that nobody else would die because... Yeah.
At that point, I was like, who else are they going to kill?
And
like,
at that point, I was like, are they going to kill all of them?
At one point, I was like, are they going to, like, get it down to the people that are, like, that were on the Avengers and just, like, only keep a couple of Eternals? But then I was like, well, Gilgamesh and Cersei were both on the Avengers and he's dead, so I guess they're not doing that. So, but still, I was like, who else is going to die?
But yeah, because I was like, maybe they're just trying to, like... cull them a little bit so that when they do Eternals 2, there's like, well, we don't have that many of them left.
We don't have to introduce so many people.
It's like, well, there are only 5 Eternals left now, so we're only going to deal with those, you know, something like that. I was like, oh gosh, who else is going to bite it, basically? Right. But we'll talk about who else dies or lives.
Who lives, who dies.
Who tells their stories. After that, so Gilgamesh is dead. They burn his body. Mm-hmm. Athena has like his ashes and she puts them into the water of the Amazon. And
Druig goes with them.
Druig says, you know, I don't know if I have the power to put it to sleep. We may need some help.
Yeah.
And so they're like, who is the mechanical genius? Mm-hmm. Fastos, however you say it. So we're going to go find him.
Yep.
And we do. Yeah. And he's married.
He is. And
to a man.
To a man, yeah.
So we have our first, as far as, he's like the first openly gay
Marvel character?
Marvel hero.
Hero?
Because there has been, like, in Endgame, there was like,
oh, yeah.
There was that one character at the therapy thing where he was talking about going on a date and everything.
That's true.
So, but he was just like a minor character. He had like 2 lines or whatever. But this is the first like openly gay superhero.
Loki is kind of...
But he's bisexual, so...
Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, this one's like... He ain't interested in the ladies. He's only interested in his husband, as far as we know.
He's in love.
Yeah, and they have their little kid together.
Yeah.
Cute little kid.
Very cute kid.
Aww.
He was. When he's teaching him to brush his teeth. Or whatever. I was like, oh my god. It was so cute.
So anyway, we finally meet up with him again. And he says that they're friends from college and gives them names. I forget what it is. One of them is like Isaac but I can't remember what hers was.
Yeah. Something like, close to Cersei. I was
going to say probably like
Sarah or
Cynthia or something. Anyway, so they invite him in. Oh, and the kid sees Icarus and is like, "It's Superman."
Yeah,
I'm like, Superman
on TV
exists in this universe now.
Yeah, because they reference him. They're like, "Come on, Clark, let's go."
Yeah, exactly.
You've called me worse.
Weird.
They even talk about Batman too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, right? Because, didn't they?
I don't remember Batman.
I thought somebody's, like, sidekick. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, he did say Alfred. He
said that Alfred too is Batman. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
So they're just going all DC up in here.
Really weird. And then of course they're like, while they're waiting for him to show his kid how to brush his teeth and everything, they're like peeking down the hallway to see what's going on, and then they're like, "Oh, quick, act natural," And so she grabs it's like a comic book or something, and then he grabs it. It's Star Wars. It's something Star Wars.
Oh yeah, it was some Star Wars.
So now we got Star Wars in there too.
Yeah, the whole bringing in everything.
Yeah, there we go. So anyway. And so she has like a cup or something. She's like, just pretend, whatever. So he comes in and they explain what's going on. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't leave my family.
Yeah, I've been out of the business. I don't make things anymore.
He's like, I haven't used my powers in so long. And then Icarus like shoots his laser beams to the wall or whatever. The window. And it just like...
doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything because he's basically built this fortress for himself and his family. Which, I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That seems like
power.
The best idea.
Yeah.
But his husband says, they need you.
You got to protect our kid. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. So you should go. I don't want you to go, but you should go.
Yeah.
And so they have a little kiss.
He reads a little story to his son.
Oh, yeah, and he reads the story. Yeah.
So cute.
It's like, stop. So then he goes with them. They go to...
their ship.
Yes, which is in like modern day Iraq, I think.
Yeah, it is. Oh, and he also like lost hope. The reason he's so upset is because he saw the bomb at Hiroshima.
Yeah, he gave them the knowledge to make it, and he instantly regretted it because he was like, "What have I done?
Felt that
these
guilt.
People are not worthy of saving."
Right. Yeah.
And
so that's why he quit the biz.
Yep. So he was like, never again.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why he stopped.
Yeah.
But they show up at the ship and Makari is there. She's been there for I don't know how long.
Been waiting to go back.
Yeah, she's like
tons of books.
Exactly. She's like, "Are we going back home now?" And they're like, "No. Here's what's going down." And so they've got like Excalibur. They've got like all kinds of things there. Yeah. A box of Twinkies.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, weird.
Emerald tablet.
And they realize that Fastos can make or Fastos, I don't know how to say it, can make, we just keep going back and forth, can make something to connect their minds so that we'll all have, it will be like all their powers together. Yep. And with that, Druig will be able to put Tiamat to sleep.
Yeah. And he calls it the Unimind.
The Unimind, and they're like, isn't there like a better
like that name sucks.
Thing to call it? And I think Kingo says something else, and it sounds so much better.
This is like
but I forget
Mind
what he calls
Blaster
it.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's still not great, but yeah, it's better than Unimind.
The Unimind is one of the dumbest things in the comics, I swear. They all come together and form this big brain, and it just looks so dumb. I always hated that part.
Well, they didn't form a big brain, thank goodness. Did not. At least
it was there in the diagram. It did show a big brain. I was like, "Oh, no, here we go."
Oh no, this is going to be a Starro again.
Yes,
but no, they have to figure out where the emergence is going to take place. Mm-hmm. They find that out. Makari goes there. She sees like a volcano.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Okay, we got it. This is where it's going to be."
But while she's off. They kind of have this like vote of who thinks they should do it and who doesn't, I guess. And Icarus is against it. Yeah.
And Kingo's against it. And can't remember who else.
Kingo's against it just because
Icarus is against it. But they're like, well, it's Ajax put Cersei in charge, so really it's Cersei's decision.
Yeah.
And some of them kind of don't like that because they're like, no, Icarus is the most powerful of us. He should be the one in charge.
Yeah.
So he should make the decision. So there's kind of some infighting going on. And Icarus walks out.
Yeah.
And he walks outside and he remembers, he has this little flashback of going to see Ajax.
Yeah.
And so
she's in her cowboy gear.
There she is in her cowboy gear. I was like, thank you, finally.
Looking real cute on that horse with that cowboy gear.
So adorable. Oh my gosh. I love her. Yeah. So they're on her front porch and they're talking and he said, he asks, how long do we have? And she says 7 days.
Yeah.
And this was like 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Because it flashes back. It's like flashback 6 days ago. And, she says, we have to stop it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't think we should. Right. Arishem is telling us that we should go through with this.
Yeah. Icarus is very loyal to the cause.
Very loyal to the cause. And she says something about, yes, but we've lived here and we've seen these people. We've seen what they can do. They, half the population was gone. Mm-hmm. Just out of existence. Mm-hmm. And they
brought them back.
Enough hope and everything. And they brought them back, which is what jump-started the emergence.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody
just left it at half. We would have had more time. But way to go, guys.
But they had to bring everybody back. So, that's what jump-started the emergence.
Yeah.
And, so she's like, I think they should be saved. I think they deserve it. And he's like, okay, well, let me show you something. I have something to show you. And so they go to Alaska, and there are these deviants on he's like, I think they were under the ice, and when the earthquake happened,
or it was like when the ice or when it was melting,
something like that,
melting or whatever, they became free.
They came out of the ice, and they killed like all these workers at like a mine or oil thing. I can't remember what it was.
Oil camp, yeah.
So they killed all these people, and she's like, oh well, I can't remember what she says.
I mean, she realizes like he's why he's there. Like he would have killed them. Yeah. If he'd have seen him, he would have killed him. So obviously he's kept him around for something. Yeah. And she realizes he's betraying her.
He's betraying her. So he's the bad guy. Yeah. Which honestly, I was kind of like,
yeah.
In the beginning, when they were talking about him being so like loyal to Arishem and everything, I was like, this can't go well. Yeah. As soon as they said, Arishem's kind of the bad guy, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. I was surprised because he's like always the hero in the thing. But this one. And he usually goes against like the order of the Eternals, but not in this. She's like, I led you down the wrong path. I'm sorry. And he pushes her off a cliff.
He pushes her off, and I'm like, how many times are people going to get pushed off of something in the MCU? Stop it. Stop pushing women off of cliffs. This is the third time.
It's true.
You gotta stop.
Women keep going over cliffs.
But she hits the ice, and she like, it doesn't hurt her. She's fine because she's an eternal. She wasn't that big of a fall either. Yeah. And so she stands up, and they start attacking her, and then Crow comes out from a cave, and
that's when he sucks her
dry and leaves her dead body there. And then he goes into the cave, and the other deviants go in there with him. He changes a little bit, and then he gives them a little juice, and they change. So one of them like grows wings and everything. Yeah. Then Icarus goes down and takes her body and takes her back to her farm and lays her on the ground and laser beams the ground a little bit because he's mad at himself, I guess.
Superman thing at the end of Man of Steel. Just like, shoots his eye beams.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Dramatic much, Icarus.
Very dramatic.
So, that's his big secret. He killed her.
Yep.
Cersei comes outside to see him and, basically tells him that she still loves him. And they go inside and
they kind of just figure it out. Like he goes the way he's talking.
He goes in and he changes into his armor.
Yeah.
And Cersei's like, was it Cersei or was it Athena that was like, what are you doing? I can't remember.
Cersei, I think.
I guess. But they're like, what are you doing? He's like, I have to stop this.
Yep.
Meaning stop them from stopping the emergence.
He was hoping the deviants would delay him long enough to where they couldn't stop the emergence.
So he walks back in. They're all like, what is going on here? Mm-hmm. And somebody mentions Ajak, and Druig says he killed her.
Yeah.
Because he can feel it.
Yeah.
He can feel his emotions or whatever. And then Makari comes in and she's like, I found the place. She's like signing it and everything. She's like, I got it. I know where the emergency is going to happen.
They tell her to get out of there.
Because Icarus is about to kill her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he like tries to kill her, and Kingo, I think, jumps in front of her. And then they're like, go, get out of here. So she runs away quickly, because that's what she does.
Yeah.
That's her thing. So she gets out of there. They have some fighting with him. Then,
I think Icarus takes off after.
Yeah, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
And Kingo leaves too.
Yeah, he's like, I agree with Icarus, but I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're my family.
Exactly. So he leaves, and Karin goes with him, and he thanks him before he leaves.
Yeah.
He's like, thank
you
for trying.
for what you did for humanity.
And it's like, oh my gosh, don't kill this man. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
So he walks off, and Sprite leaves too, because Sprite loves Icarus. So Sprite's out.
Yeah.
So now they just have a few of them. It's just, let me see, Cersei, Athena,
Druig,
Phaestos, and Makari, but she's away.
She's out.
She's back at where the emergency is going to happen.
She does come back. She doesn't run.
Oh yeah,
out.
That's right.
She just
does
like
come back.
runs
I forgot.
somewhere. I don't know. So she's hanging out.
Yeah.
So Phaestos figures out what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I need that little orb out of your chest there.
Yes.
To make this thing.
Yes.
And he makes bracelets, which this phase seems to be all about bracelets.
Because what's funny is, like, when Shang-Chi came out, and they were like, oh, there are 10 rings.
Yeah.
And some people were like, but there are 10 Eternals.
Well, I don't know that we knew there were 10 Eternals.
No, we knew that there were 10 Eternals by that point.
People were like, because at the end it was, that thing was pulsating.
Yeah.
And they're like, who's it calling? And a lot of people were like, Eternals.
Yeah.
But I was like, that doesn't make sense. But it would now, I guess. But
yeah.
Still.
But also, I heard that, maybe each one of the rings represented each one of the Eternals.
Okay.
And had, like, the similar powers or something.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But yeah, I thought he was making them. But then I'm like, that doesn't make sense, though. Because his dad had them back when.
Because they're already here. And plus, he's not making ones for all of them, because 2 of them are dead.
That's true.
So there would have only been 8 in the first place.
Here's one for you, Gilgamesh.
And did he make them for the ones who were not going to be fighting?
No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't making 10 anyway.
No.
But yeah, he makes these little bracelets. And
it's to help them make the Unimind.
Yes. And they're like, all right, it's time to go. We gotta fight this. Sprite and Icarus are at where the emergency is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Domo comes flying in.
Yeah. I think Makari just comes in and starts beating up Icarus, maybe? Or no, not yet. What are they doing?
Icarus flies to Domo, goes in, and starts fighting Athena.
That's right.
In that room that has, like, the big
Arishem
statue.
Yeah.
So they start fighting in there, and then
the rest of them go down onto the beach.
Yes.
And they're starting the Unimind.
They start the Unimind.
Except Phaestos. Phaestos
is still inside Domo.
Yeah.
And so they do the Unimind, and so it's just Makari and Cersei and Druig. So they start the Unimind. Athena, like, in the middle of the fight, goes into Unimind mode.
Yeah.
And Icarus was like, oh no, what the heck's going on here? I gotta stop him. So he gets out, he jumps out or whatever, flies out, and breaks the Unimind by knocking Druig into the world. It goes like underground, and it's like, okay, not cool.
Yeah.
Makari is
Druig's dead.
Yeah, Makari is not happy about that because there's this little thing going on between her and Druig that
got a little interest.
Yeah, and you could kind of see it in some of the earlier scenes, like the backstory kind of stuff. And it was like, is there something going on there? Yeah. But obviously there was. And of course I was going, yay, a new ship. She gets pissed off and she goes after Icarus, and she's just like,
it was
knocking
great.
him
I loved it.
It was amazing. I was so happy to see it.
She was just like slamming him against things. Punching the crap out of him. Was great.
It was great. So the others, they're like, well, we've got to do something. So they tell Cersei to go on, try to stop it, because we don't have Druig anymore. Maybe
she did the tree thing.
Exactly. So we don't have Druig anymore. You're our last hope.
Yeah.
Go on. We'll keep Icarus occupied until, whatever. Oh, and Icarus also takes down Domo.
Yeah, he just blasts
through it, and it goes down, and Makari goes in and saves Thena and Phaestos real quick. Yeah. And so they're fine.
Yeah.
And there's like this big fight on the beach. Everybody's fighting. And then, of course, Crow shows up. Yeah. It's like, dude, we really needed another person here.
It's like, are they beating up Icarus? Maybe I should get in on that.
I mean, I guess I should too. So yeah, he starts like going after Icarus. Yeah. And then they're kind of going after him.
Yeah.
And
like,
Icarus.
Oh no, we gotta fight this deviant now. Okay.
So Thena's still pissed off about the whole Gilgamesh dying thing. And so she goes after Crow, who has gone into this, been tossed into this cave.
Yeah.
So she goes after him. Everybody else is going after Icarus. Meanwhile, Cersei is trying to get to the volcano to stop everything.
Stop Tiamat from emerging.
Yeah. And Phaestos does this thing where because Icarus realizes where Cersei's going, so he pulls him down.
Yeah.
With some kind of mechanical thing. Pulls him down.
Lasso things.
Yeah, exactly. And gets him stuck to the
chains him to the beach.
And so he can't get out.
Yep.
Then Thena goes in to deal with Crow. They have a big fight.
He starts to drain her.
But she gets her little sword. It pops up and she just
super slices him up.
Yep, slices him up. He's dead. Done.
Yep,
we're done.
He's done.
We're done with that.
That's all about Crow.
So yeah, that story's done.
Yeah.
And then
Celestial's starting to come up.
Yeah.
We're starting to see stuff poking out of the water.
Well, I don't think that was yet. First, Cersei is trying to get to there, and she sees Ajax.
Yeah.
And she's like,
oh, yeah.
Okay, Sprite, I know it's you. But actually, she was projecting Ajax's image away because Sprite was actually behind her. She stabs her. But then Druig shows up, and she's like, he just knocks out Sprite. And is like, go on, we'll figure something out. So she heads on out. Then everything starts to emerge. Mm-hmm. Everything's happening. It's crazy. Icarus shows, he gets out somehow just as Cersei gets to the place to put her hands,
earth,
basically.
Parts and you can see the celestial body.
Yeah, so she sees the body. She puts her hands on it and starts turning it. Icarus shows up and he can't kill her.
Yeah.
Because he still loves her.
Right. He feels bad.
Yeah. So he's like, well, crap.
But then they all start joining together the Unimind. What's happening?
Yeah.
Even Icarus and Sprite are getting pulled into it.
Yeah. But not Kingo, I guess, because he's somewhere.
I mean, he might have been. Who knows? Somewhere.
Maybe he was Maybe he was in his private jet, just flying away, and he's like, "It's part of the Unimind." Yeah. And Karin's just like, "Let me film that."
Yeah, they all T-pose out there.
Yeah, exactly. And so then they turn it into. She turns it into stone.
It gives her the power.
Yep.
It's kind of like ice.
Well, I thought it was more like marble.
I don't know, because it seems very icy.
It looked kind of marble.
I thought she turned into a glacier.
Maybe. I don't know. But she kills it. Let's just put it that way. Which is not what they planned on doing. They wanted to put it to sleep. Yeah. Because they're like, if we kill it, that's going to mess everything up. And
I mean, maybe it's just frozen. Maybe it was ice and it's just frozen.
Maybe.
To where it can thaw out at some later time.
Who knows? Anyway.
I mean, though, it got pretty far out to where...
Oh, yeah.
Because it starts in the center of the earth.
Oh, yeah.
That means it had to come out. And that didn't just completely screw up the planet.
Right.
I feel like that would have really messed things up.
It showed these, tsunamis happening.
Still, man, that would create some real havoc in the world.
Yeah.
With all that. So, I don't know. Maybe freezing it stopped all that. I don't know.
I guess everything's okay.
We're just gonna go with it.
So they did it. Everybody's like, okay, I guess we're done here. Yeah. Icarus is like, well, he's crying. He goes out into space. He looks down at Earth and he's like, well, I guess this was fun. Yeah. And then he yeets himself into the sun.
Yeah. So. Icarus flew too close to the sun.
Yep.
AKA into the sun.
Into the sun. Kills himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
I mean, we assume he killed himself.
He is an eternal. Maybe he's fine.
Yeah.
But that's the end of Icarus as far as we know.
As far as we know.
So that's 3 of them that are gone.
Yep. We lost 3.
So Cersei still has the power there are like some remnants left.
Tower, yeah.
And she goes to Sprite and she says, if you want me to, I can turn you human. You can grow old.
Yep.
And,
so you
can live your life. Just let me know. And she's like, yes, I want that. So she turns her human. So there we go. Now we've got human. That's another one that's gone.
Yeah.
Because she's not an Eternal anymore.
Yeah, that's true. She might still be able to do stuff. Who knows?
I don't know. Which is funny because now it's like... Because when I saw the previews for it, I was like, how are they going to do more movies?
Yeah.
And she's not...
young.
She's going to age.
Yep.
Doesn't matter now.
Yep.
It's fine.
That's how they take care of it.
So, I mean, I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Without killing her, so that's nice.
Yeah.
So, there we go. That's it. Then they're all at Ajax's house. Even Phastos' husband and child.
Yep. Everybody's there.
They're all there. The kid is trying to get an orange out of a basket that's like on a shelf and he can't reach it, and Thena like just makes a spear real quick and spears it, and Phastos is like, oh, whoa. No.
You are not babysitting.
No babysitting. Babysitting privileges revoked. So
yeah.
But they decide that Thena and Makari and Druig are all going to go on Domo, which somehow is still okay. Maybe Phastos fixed it.
Yeah,
repaired it.
He said he repaired it.
So it's fine. And they're going to go off and see if they can find more Eternals and let them know what is going on, because they've all had their memories erased.
Yeah.
All of the other ones. So if they can find more, maybe they can save more planets.
Let them know what's going on, yeah.
And so they head off, and that means that the only ones left are Cersei,
Sprite, Kingo,
and, well, Sprite not really because she's not an Eternal, but, and Phastos.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to leave his family.
Right.
So they're still on Earth. And I guess Sprite is now Kingo's child.
Yeah, I guess he's kind of adopted her. She's got to go to school.
Yeah. So they leave. They go off in his limo.
Yeah.
Phastos, of course, is doing his thing with his family. And there's Dane Whitman just sitting there across the road. He's like,
hi.
Hey, I'm still here. And of course, Kingo's like, he's much better looking in person. So they go off to this park and they're talking, and he's like, all right, no more secrets.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. She's like, I don't have any more secrets. That was all. He's like, okay, but I have a secret.
Apparently my family's a little more messed up than I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Because like at the very beginning, she had bought him a ring, and it was like his family crest.
Yeah. And told him to call his uncle because his uncle, they have a bad relationship or something.
Yes, and she knew that the end of the world might be happening, and she's like, call your uncle. So apparently he did.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell her his secret, but then something crazy happens. Yeah. The clouds go dark, and then they go away, and there you see these 6 eyes, these 2 rows of 3 eyes. And
Arisham's just staring at them.
Yep, Arisham's there. Pulls them out.
Yeah.
Out of Earth.
Cersei.
Yeah, Cersei's gone. She's like out.
Who else did they get?
They got Cersei, they got Kingo, and they got Phastos.
Did they get Phastos? Okay.
I'm pretty sure, because there were 3 of them, I think. Okay. And those are the only 3 that they could get, because Sprite's not an Eternal anymore.
Okay.
If they would take her out in the space,
yeah,
she's dead.
Well, I mean, he had stuff around him, so I don't know.
So yeah, it was just those 3.
Yeah.
I forget what he says. He's like, it's time for judgment, or we're going to look at your memories.
I'm going to study your memories to see if they're worthy. Yeah. And we'll return and I'll pass judgment.
Yeah.
So I like that because that's very celestial of him. They judge the Earth a lot. So that was cool.
And so he just like goes off with them. Yeah. They're gone.
It looked cool. I really liked the whole like, oh crap, there's this huge dude in the sky.
Yeah. Like, and the people like after he disappears, the people are just like, what just happened? There's one guy who just like grabs his bike and gets out of there. They're like, did you see she just disappeared?
That was nuts. So, I didn't expect it.
Yeah, it was crazy. And you could tell that people are just like, what is happening? Yeah. So it's like chaos.
Yeah.
Dane is just kind of looking at the sky. I think like...
He's kind of freaking out.
What? And that's how it ends.
Yep. So then...
Yay! Yeah. And so, of course, because it is Marvel we have the 2 post-credit scenes.
Yes.
Well, mid-credit and then post-credit. So the first one is the mid-credit scene.
Yes.
And it has the ones that are in the ship that are in, in Domo going around. Athena and Druig and Makari.
Yeah.
And they have Earth, they can see Earth. They have some kind of little globe map kind of thing. And they were kind of where are they? I don't see them there anymore.
Yeah.
So it must be right after this happened.
Right.
And then some weird
Start
thing.
feeling something.
They hear something, and then some weird thing starts happening in the hallway. Here. Yeah, and they're like, what is going on? And somebody shows up.
Yep. And it is Pip the Troll, who I would ever see in this freaking cinematic universe.
And I knew that it had to be something weird going on because of the way Mark reacted next to me. He was like, what?
What? Pip the Troll.
And I'm just sitting there I don't know what this means.
Yeah. He's a troll who,
always drunk, it looks like.
Yeah, he's part of, the Infinity Watch. He's always with Adam Warlock, who I thought they were going to introduce at, and he's just kind of always with him. He's his little sidekick, and he's kind of always doing little things, sneaky little trickster things, kind of trying to get some power a little bit. But, he's fun, but he's always smoking and drinking, and he's kind of unreliable. So it's weird to see him. But then he's like, I've got someone here. I'm introducing this person. Mm-hmm. And Pip's also voiced by Patton Oswalt.
Yes. So when he said he was introducing this person, did you think it was going to be Adam Warlock?
I thought it was Adam Warlock. I was like, oh my gosh, they're bringing Adam Warlock. I was so excited.
I feel like they are bringing Adam Warlock.
Yeah, I think for Guardians of the Galaxy, but I thought it was coming now. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then it got weirder because the guy he was with was Star Fox / Arrows, who is Thanos' brother. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yo, what up, fellow Eternals?
Yep.
I'm here. I'm going to talk to you about Titan and all that. Because they're Eternals. Thanos is an Eternal. What happened was the Eternals on Earth, they got in a dispute. Some of them wanted to take over the world. Some of them were like, no, we're supposed to defend humans. Mm-hmm. So the people that wanted to defend humans won. So the ones that didn't had to leave. And they were drifting out there in space. And they were like, some of them were like, let's go back. Let's fight them again. And they didn't make it because they got stopped by the Kree. And they landed on one of Saturn's moons, Titan. And they settled there, and they became the Titans. And that includes Thanos and Star Fox. So they are Eternals. They've just been gone for a long time.
Okay.
So this is who it is. And Star Fox he's weird, man. He's always hitting on the ladies, and he's always getting beat up by Thanos.
And he is played by Harry Styles.
Which is, I feel like probably good casting.
Probably.
We'll see. So, kind of, always want to punch Star Fox. So, kind of works.
Aw, but I don't want to punch Harry Styles. I have nothing against Harry Styles.
I don't really either. But,
But he does look like he would play a good Star Fox.
Yeah, good smarmy character, kind of. Yeah. So, I was very surprised. I would never, Pip the Troll was surprising enough, but Star Fox? Because I thought Thanos killed I thought they wrote off all the Titans, basically. But apparently not. And here they are. So, yeah. He's there to help and see what they can do. Mm-hmm.
So that's the end of that little sequence. And then they have the post-credits scene, which it has Dane in it. And he's got this...
it's like a trunk kind of deal.
Yeah, case. Kind of. It's a case. And he's kind of like, do I want to open it?
Yeah.
I do, but kind of don't. He decides he's going to open it. So he opens up the case. There's a sword in there.
Yep. And it's wrapped up in... What was it wrapped up in?
I don't know. It looked like maybe some kind of papyrus or something.
Yeah.
It's wrapped up in something, and it looks like it has, like, runes or something on it, maybe.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes to touch it, but he doesn't actually touch it, but it's doing some weird kind of thing, reaction. Yeah. And then you hear a voice off screen. Yeah. And I can't remember what he said.
It's like, you sure you want to do that or something like that?
Yeah, are you sure you're ready for that or something like that?
Yeah.
And it doesn't say who it is.
Right, we don't see him.
No, but of course,
when
I was looking, because we were in the theater watching it, and we were waiting for the last scene, you know. And I was like, I'm going to just check and make sure that there is a last one. And as I was checking, I got spoiled for the last one. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So yeah, the voice is, it's Blade.
Yeah. The guy who is going to play Blade.
Yep. That's who did it.
So that's pretty exciting.
So Blade is on his way.
Yeah.
And is somehow connected to Dane, who is Black Knight.
Yes, he is. And Black Knight goes back to King Arthur times. Merlin made this sword, which became the Ebony Blade, sword. But it was cursed at some point.
When they were in Domo, Athena had a sword, and someone said, "Is that the Ebony Blade?" Right. She said, "No, it's Excalibur."
Yeah.
But this is the Ebony Blade.
This is the Ebony Blade, yeah.
So now we know where the Ebony Blade is.
Yes. And it was with his ancestor, who's Sir Percy or something like that.
Percival?
Sure.
Maybe?
Yeah, probably. And then it just kind of kept passing down. Went to his uncle. Mm-hmm. And his uncle was actually a bad guy.
Okay.
Who did a lot of evil things. Mm-hmm. And then he felt bad at the end, gave it to Dane. And, like, restore our honor, you know, take the Ebony Blade.
Sounds familiar. Sounds a bit like Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I guess.
Family member is a bad guy, and then at the end gives it over to him to kind of make amends for the bad things he's done.
And the curse on the Ebony Blade is that the more you use it, the more, like, you want to kill, and, like, it kind of corrupts you over time.
Okay.
So he tries not to use it much. He's actually cleansed it at certain points, but it kind of always gets recursed.
Okay.
So it's, you know, it's a tough one to have. It turned him into stone once. I don't know. But, yeah, it's got a long history. And then him and Blade also have been on a team together. They were, like, MI 33 or something. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but... So they've teamed up in the past.
Okay.
But Blade, pretty interesting. I'm interested to see what they did with them. I'm surprised they didn't have Black Knight in it more. I really thought we were going to get a lot of Black Knight. And he was just in, like, the beginning and the end.
He was in, like, one little time in the middle where he was on FaceTime.
Yeah. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to be doing more later with him.
Yeah, see, that was another thing that I was surprised by. Because, you know, I thought that either the main character was going to be like Icarus or Athena, because Richard Madden, or Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Jolie, yeah.
What the heck?
She was very side character.
Yeah, which it was fine.
I'm absolutely okay with that.
You know, she was great in it. And then I was like, oh, and there's Kit Harington's in it. He's going to be like all up in this thing. Yeah. No! Nope. What the heck?
All Cersei.
You got Kit Harrington and you're not, like, using him?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like all Cersei. It was so weird to me.
It was surprising. They did a lot of weird things.
I was fine because I liked her, so...
Yeah.
But you were talking about the Ebony Blade, and I was like, that sounds very familiar. There's an Ebony Blade in Skyrim. Why am I back on Skyrim? So yeah, there's an Ebony Blade in Skyrim, and it absorbs the life essence of your foes.
Yeah, and I think this might kind of do that too.
Yeah, and it is strengthened by deceit. So, like, the way that you get it is you have to have a follower and sacrifice them. Oh, and that's how you get it.
Okay.
And I've only done it once in the game because I felt really bad, but I wanted it. And then I was like, now I have this thing and I killed somebody for it and I never want to use it again.
Yeah, they've recently, like, kind of retconned that Ebony Blade to be, like, it goes to, like, those with unpure souls. So, I don't know what that means about Dane, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Eternals. A lot different than I expected, but I think it turned out fine.
Yeah, I liked it.
I think they could have cut a lot of flashbacks.
Yes.
And shortened it up a little, made it a little tighter.
Yeah, they could have.
Because they kind of just cut back to, like, okay, they're fighting deviants again in the past. Okay. Yeah, we get it. They did that a lot.
Yeah, they could have cut a lot of that. They could have cut, they probably could have cut, like, the whole wedding thing.
Yeah.
Although that was, like, no time at all.
Yeah, it didn't take that long.
They could have cut the sex scene.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really add anything to it, so it's not really that necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know that it deserves the bad reviews it's gotten.
I don't think so.
But I can also kind of see why people might not like it as much as the other ones.
Yeah.
Because it's not as, like, fast and action fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there were some people... There was one review I saw that someone said that it felt like that it took an eternity to watch. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad, but
it wasn't.
Okay. I mean, it was like just a little over 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, probably could have done with some cuts, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed, and I like that they're Celestials now.
Yeah.
It makes me very happy.
And I
just wish they looked different.
Yeah, and I liked the new characters.
Yeah.
It was cool to see new people.
Yeah.
A lot of rep for, you've got your deaf Eternal and your gay Eternal.
Right. Yeah.
Plus you've got
he's off somewhere with Irish, apparently.
Plus you've got like your Indian character.
Yeah.
You've got
your child character.
your Asian. You've got more Asians in here.
Yeah.
Black.
Spanish. Some
Spanish?
Hayek.
Oh yeah, I was like
Mexican, I guess is what she is.
Spanish. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, lots of different ethnicities.
Yeah.
Which was nice to see.
It really is. It's good to vary it up a little. Mm-hmm. And it was, it's one of those things where it was different than the rest of the MCU, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of did the thing where they're fighting like themselves, but evil, like all the Marvel movies do.
Yeah.
Especially as Crow started becoming them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, we were doing fine with just animals. We were doing good. But yeah. So, yeah, that's Eternals. Do you have anything else? Any questions? Because I got a lot of knowledge about these Eternals. I read a lot of stuff. I got to talk about it.
Don't think so. No, sorry.
Yeah, I understand. So we'll see what happens in the next one.
Yep.
Since it definitely seems like there's going to be a next one.
Well, yeah, and it said the Eternals.
Styles.
The Eternals will return.
We'll see if Black Knight's in the Blade movie or something.
Yeah.
How they do that. We'll see.
It's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, kind of. I don't even know, like, is Kang going to be the big bad or the Celestials? We got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
We'll see.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. So, do we want to get to our snack?
I guess so. So
go get it.
I'll go get it in a second. So we're gonna be. I think we should go ahead and do both of those things that were in there because
they might both go bad soon.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, a while back, like months ago, I bought some stuff, and then I was like, "Well, surely we will be able to have this as a snack at some point." And then it has never fit in with anything. Yeah. It also doesn't fit in with this, except there are some.
Jam it in there.
There are some British characters, so we're going with that. So we have some Jammie Dodgers and some Ribena.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to have.
The way that the movie has broadened out and been inclusive, we're broadening out our snack tastes and trying things that I've never tried. Well, I've tried one of them, but one of them I haven't.
I've tried one of them and the other one I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't tried I've tried Jammie Dodgers. I haven't tried the other thing.
And that's the same with me. I've had Jammie Dodgers before and I haven't had Ribena.
Yeah.
But we're going to have both of those, mainly because the Ribena expires this month, so I want to go ahead and drink it.
Yep.
And I'm not really sure when the Jammie Dodgers expire.
They'll probably be fine.
I want to say it's like January or something, but we're going to go ahead and eat them now so that we can get them out of the way. And plus, now they will not be in my kitchen any longer.
Yep. So Ribena is blackcurrant, which I just asked you.
Yeah, it's blackcurrant juice, I guess.
Okay.
I think it's carbonated, but I'm not sure.
Guess we'll find out.
You're probably gonna want to delete the audio from me pouring it because that's weird. But
people love it. It's very ASMR. I don't know if it's carbonated.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Or if it was, it's not now.
I think it's just juice. It's kind of like juicy juice, it looks like.
Juicy juice. It smells like grape juice.
Yeah, it does. Well, black currants are kind of grape-y.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mix between like grape and cherry or something. But I'm not sure. Because we don't have black currants, as far as I know, in America.
I don't know. I've never seen them.
They're like red currants and black currants.
Yeah.
And like if you get candy, like British candy, a lot of times it'll be like some kind of currant flavor.
Yeah.
Go ahead and open the Jammie Dodgers.
Open them up.
I don't know why we're eating these since we've both had them, but whatever.
People want to know, how do we feel about these? They sit up at night wondering.
All right, so here we are. We've got our Ribena and our Jammie Dodgers.
Okay, and try this Ribena.
Mm-hmm. Tinkling ice.
It's very sweet.
Ooh, it is very sweet. Yikes. And I love sweet stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's good.
It is good. I feel like we could like water it down a little bit and it would be better.
Yeah, maybe.
So I might do that.
It'd be good with like Sprite.
It's like surprisingly thick.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But it tastes good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It would be good with Sprite though.
Probably. Ooh, I've got ginger ale.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, fine. Just don't go with my idea. It's cool.
I don't know. I don't mix ginger ale with much, so I don't really know.
Yeah, it is.
Very sweet.
Very sweet.
But I kind of like it.
Whew.
I can't drink much of it.
No.
But
I mean, it's a small bottle, so it's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
All right, but that's fine.
Yeah. Let's try Jammie Dodger.
They're stuck together.
They were kissing.
Okay, but I mean, it was like the back of one, the front of one kissing the back of the other. That's wrong.
Hey, don't judge how Jammie Dodgers love each other. Jammie Dodgers are two, like, what do you call those?
They're two like shortbread cookies.
Yeah.
With raspberry jam in the middle, and there's like a little heart cut out so that you can see the jam in there.
Because they love us.
Mm-hmm. The jam is very stretchy, which is weird.
Yeah. Yours is very bleedy.
It's like gummy. I'm not mad at it, though.
Sure, I have with Jammie Dodgers. They are pretty shortbread heavy, and they're kind of dry. With the jam, oh, something's happening. With the jam, I expect it to be more jammy and, have a lot more fruit flavor in there, but it's really, really shortbready. What's up? Does it say, don't drink straight, mix? If you drink straight, you will die.
Okay, so Ribena is a juice concentrate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So there are directions for use in here that I did not read because it's tiny print on the side of the bottle. It says to dilute 1 part of it with at least 4 parts water.
Wow. That is why it is so sweet.
And why it seems very thick.
It does.
So would you like me to go put some water in ours and stir it a little bit so that we can see
let's see how it is.
How it's supposed to be?
In its actual state.
Okay.
All right.
So that's what you get when you don't read directions. I should have known better. I am a Virgo, but it's all right.
But we're Americans. You give us a bottle of liquid, we're going to drink it straight.
That's much better.
I mean, I guess. Now, I don't know. Maybe mine's too dilute now.
No. Would you like to try mine? Sure. I think it's less diluted than yours was.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I'm finding that right ratio.
Yeah.
But that is better. Here's maybe not diluted enough. I don't know. It sounds like there's a real balance here.
Yeah, well,
yours is still pretty sweet.
Yeah, you drank a lot more than I did.
I did.
And I didn't have enough room to put like even close to 4 parts water in mine because mine was still like halfway full. So mine is like 2 parts water.
Yeah.
So if it was like maybe 3, because yours is probably about 4.
Yeah.
So maybe 3 parts water would be perfect.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just something that you would have to figure out.
Yeah.
Trial and error, I guess. It still tastes good though.
Yeah. I don't want any more.
That's fine.
It was good. It's fine.
Do you want me to throw some more of this in there so you can...
No. No. Like I told you, my stomach's like, dude, too much sugar. It is still not even like, the afternoon really.
Yeah, it is a lot of sugar. And I mean, we did have some food before, like an hour before we recorded, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the Jammie Dodgers?
I like them. They're good. It's like the jam in it is very like gummy, like I said. It's kind of strange. It's not what I'm used to.
Right.
But I like it. And has a nice taste. It's very crumbly though. Or at least mine was, because I had like crumbs all down my shirt. Yeah. And I know you did too, because I saw you sweeping them away.
Yeah.
Into my floor, thanks.
I did not. I swept them onto this napkin over here.
I was kidding. I swept mine into the floor. It's my apartment. I'll clean it myself. It's fine.
That's true. So, what are we going to rate these? And how are we going to rate this Ribena?
Well, we're going to have to rate them separately, of course.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do... Which one do we want to do first?
Let's do the Ribena.
Okay. Are we going to do it undiluted and diluted?
Probably should rate the diluted.
Kind of.
Yeah. Since that's what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's still like, I don't know. I feel like there's better juices out there.
Yeah.
That are a lot less work for me.
True.
So, yeah, I don't know that I would, be like, man, I could go for a Ribena.
Yeah.
At any point. But it wasn't bad. And, black currants are interesting. Mm-hmm. I'll give it a 5. It's just middle of the road for me.
I was expecting you to give a 4.
Oh, all right.
Because I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay.
Because I thought I liked it a little bit better than you did, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely if you're gonna try it, make sure to dilute it.
Yes.
Because...
It is so sweet. Straight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll probably drink the rest of the bottle because I paid for it. So I'm not going to just let it sit there.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll be drinking on Ribena throughout the month of November.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That was another thing where I was surprised by how sugary it was because, you don't think of European stuff. They're not as sugar heavy in their snacks and stuff as we are.
Yeah, because they complain about American snacks about how, it's too sweet. There's too much sugar in it. But then what the heck is that?
Yeah.
Have they never had Ribena?
Man. Goodness.
And, okay, honestly, what they're complaining about is not really our snacks. It's not they talk about how sugary the cereal is and stuff like that. Yeah. And our cereal is very sugary.
Yeah, it's great.
Most of the time.
Sometimes I make it sugary.
And if it's not sugary enough, we put extra sugar in it because that's how it is in this household. And in yours, apparently, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But a lot of times what they're talking about is the bread. That our bread is like cake.
Yeah.
Instead of bread.
That's true.
And I guess we just don't realize it.
Yeah,
because we're used to it.
Yeah. But yeah, we do.
But I heard somebody who went to Australia and had their bread and they were like, it's amazing. And then they came back to the US and were like, I can't find bread like it. It's like, have you never been to a bakery?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm sure they don't put that much sugar into their breads in bakeries. It's just it's the sugars and preservatives and stuff in sliced bread that you're getting prepackaged and everything.
Yeah.
Because I've had bakery bread that's perftly fine.
Yeah. Or you know what? Make your own bread. Quit complaining.
There you go. Just make your own bread if you don't like it.
Yeah. Get out to the internet and make your own.
Exactly.
Sure, there's recipes out there.
But anyway, yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's sweeter than the cookies.
Yes, definitely. So what are you rating the cookies?
Jammie Dodgers, I'm going to give those a 7, I think.
I'm going 4.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in them, I think. I'm disappointed with a lot of British snacks that we're having. I don't know why. But I like what are they called? Jaffa cakes. I like those. You don't like those.
I don't really like them because I don't the cookie part of it is fine. Mm-hmm. I just don't like the jelly.
Really? You don't like the marmalade?
I don't like marmalade in the first place. Well, but it doesn't taste like marmalade. Yeah. But the way it is, it's like Jell-O inside of a cookie, and I don't like that. So I'm not a big Jaffa Cakes fan. I'd rather have Jammie Dodgers.
We're different that way.
Plus, I like that it's not too sweet. It's like a nice...
It's... I don't know. I feel like the ratio's off. It's just too much cookie, and it's so dry. It is very dry. I can't get behind it. So
it is very dry, but I really like the taste of the raspberry.
Yeah, raspberry's good.
And I don't normally eat raspberries. That's why.
Yeah, because they're usually blue. What if those were blue?
That's not why I don't eat.
I know.
I just don't like. I don't actually like raspberries because of the seeds in the.
Yeah.
Like I hate that.
It's not a fun experience.
I don't like blackberries either for the same reason.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't eat them
and
fresh
like
very often.
The jam in it doesn't have the seeds, so I get the raspberry taste, which I do like.
Yeah.
Without the seeds and the nasty, gross parts. So
yeah. But think how many they would sell if they colored it blue. Like millions. Just to me.
Not to me, though.
All right. Well, let us know. How do you feel about Jammie Dodgers? Have you ever had Ribena straight? Are you tough like us?
Have you ever had Ribena straight and then realized, oh, this is supposed to be diluted?
You ever take some shots of Ribena straight to the dome?
Oh, God. Oh, no. I feel real dumb right now, but it's okay. I should have checked. But,
it's very tiny.
Look at how tiny that is.
Yeah.
And it's like black on purple.
Yeah, it's hard
to see. A purple label.
It.
It's hard to read.
Yeah.
So.
But let us know how you feel about it on Twitter at Having Funcast and at Facebook at Having Fun Pod.
Or you can send us an email at havingfunpod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. So go have fun and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.